Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness was an absolute hit. You want to know what else is a hit? This new comic list that I put together. So if you want to know what they are, grab your good vibe juice and meet me in the comic room. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of, Keep It Comics. As always, I am your gracious host, C3. I have an excellent show planned for us today. But before we get started, please allow us, and please, with me, take this opportunity to have a moment of silence. We lost one of our great ones this past week. It was just announced on Free Comic Book Day that Mr. George Perez had passed. So if you don't mind, let's just do a brief moment of silence for one of the greatest comic book creators, that the modern world has known. All right? So let's just do that for a quick moment, please. Okay. That is for Mr. George Perez. We are going to miss you. We appreciate everything that you have done and you have contributed to our comic book community, to George Perez's family. You have our deepest condolences, heartfelt sympathies, and we will be praying for your comfort during your time of bereavement and loss. And thank you for sharing Mr. Perez with us. We appreciate that. All right? So, without being a Debbie Downer, let's pick it back up. I've got a great list planned for you guys. We're going to dive right on in. I know I've been gone, but I haven't been gone that long. I've been watching the market. I've got a list put together. We've got some excellent comic books that I know you guys will be interested in adding to your collection. All right? So, you know the drill. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and please ring the bell so every time I do a video, you guys will get that notification. We're going to dive right on in. I got my vibe juice, family. And you know what it do. Let's get to it. The first book I want to bring to your attention is published by Marvel. It was published on December 1st, 1965. The title of this book is The Amazing Spider-Man, issue number 31. The key factor to this book is it is the first appearance of Gwen Stacy and Harry Osborn. There's a last recorded sale of this book on May 5th of 2022 for a raw copy that sold for $168.88. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this book is currently trending upward at 15.92%. The average sale for a graded copy of a 7.5 is roughly about $1,680. The average sale for a raw copy of this book is about $404. There has been 542 copies of raw books that have sold so far, and there has been 359 graded copies that have sold, giving us a total of 901 copies that have changed hands on the secondary market. While the highest known sale for a 9.6 was back on August 2nd of 2018, which that book sold for $11,400, and that was for a 9.6. $11,400 for a 9.6 that sold back in 2018. Fair market value has this book resting at $1,680 for the most common grade of the 7.5. Coming in at number 10, The Amazing Spider-Man, issue number 31. All right, ladies and gentlemen, moving right along. The next book we have, coming in at number 9, was also published by Marvel. It was released on October 1st, 1975. The title of this book is Champions, issue number 1, the regular edition. Yes, I've actually been waiting for this comic book to surface for quite some time. I was wondering when it was going to get a little love, so I'm actually glad to add this one to the list. It has been showing significant gains on the secondary market. Now let's talk about the numbers. The key factor to this book is it is the first appearance of the Champions. Last recorded sale was on May 5th of 2022, where this book sold for $74.65. This book is currently trending upward, ladies and gentlemen, at 18.56%. The average sale for CGC 9.6 is $316 for this book. And the average sale for a raw copy is roughly about $47.66. There has been 684 raw copies of this book that have sold and 190 graded copies of this book that have changed hands on the secondary market, giving us a total of 874 copies of this particular comic book that is moving on the secondary market from the beginning of the year till now. All right. Now, the highest known sell for CGC 9.8 of this book was back on March 20th of 2022, where that book sold for $1,150, ladies and gentlemen. And the fair market value has this book resting at $316 for the raw copy. For a 9.6, the graded 9.6, $316. All right. So keep your eye on this book. This book is definitely one that you may want to add to your collection. Coming in at number 8. This book was published by Marvel, ladies and gentlemen. This book was released on November 12th of 2014. The title of this book is Thor, issue number 2. The key factor to this book is it is the first full appearance of the new Thor, who was later revealed to be Jane Foster. And with all the talk of Thor, Love and Thunder coming, there's no wonder that this book made my list and that it is also doing very well on the secondary market. And I anticipate that it will do so up until the point where the movie drops. So you could definitely want to pay attention to these numbers and keep your eye on this book if this is a book you have been looking to add to your collection. All right. The last recorded sale was on May 5th, 2022, where this book sold for $29.99 for a raw copy. All right. Now, this book is currently trending upward at 35.21%, at 35.2%, 35.2%. And the average sale for a CGC 9.8 at the moment is $188. The average sale for a raw copy of this book goes for roughly about $33.91. There's been 483 raw copies that have sold, and there's been 41 graded copies that have moved so far, giving us a total of 524 copies of this book that has changed hands so far on the secondary market. The highest known sale for the CGC 9.8 is back on June 8th of 2021, where that book sold for $299.99, basically $300. All right. And the fair market value has this book resting at $188 for the most common grade of the 9.8. So this book is definitely worth keeping your eye on. I see a lot of room for growth with this particular book. I am looking forward to adding another one of these to my collection. I have one, and I think I may get another one, but I'm probably going to wait for these prices to really, really cool off. So I probably won't actually go after this book until after the movie drops, because right now I just see it's gaining too much traction for me to try to purchase it right now. I'd rather wait and get it at a lower cost. All right. So, but definitely I will be keeping my eye on this book, and anything significant goes on with it, I'll bring it to you guys' attention. All right. Excuse me. And you guys know what it is over here. It's good vibes only, ladies and gentlemen. The weather's about to break. Summertime is about to pop. I'm going to have a good time. I hope you guys are enjoying yourself. And if you guys want to leave a comment in the comment section, it's all good. I really appreciate that. I actually love chopping it up with you guys in the comment section. All right. Coming in at number 7. This book is published by Marvel, January 1st. This book was dropped on January 1st, 1983. The title of this book is Avengers, issue number 227. And the key factor to this book is it is Captain Marvel, Monica Rambeau. It's when she joins the Avengers. All right. So this book, the key factor to this book is when Captain Marvel, Monica Rambeau, actually joins the Avengers. Now, this too may be having something to do with the movie that just dropped. I don't want to, any spoilers, but Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness was fire, in my opinion, which may not amount to a hill of beans, but I was really digging it. And it could be a reason why this book is actually doing numbers right now. All right. The last recorded sale for this book was on May 3rd of 2022 for a raw copy. Well, this book sold for $23.99. And I love that buy-in point, that price point for buying right there. I love that. This book is currently trending upward at 49.2%. The average sale for a graded CGC 9.8 is $284. The average sale for a raw copy is $20.05. And again, I'm really loving that point right there. Like that $20 buy-in point, price point for a key moment in comic book history, I'm definitely digging that. All right. As far as copies that have sold, there's been 526 raw copies that have sold so far, and there has been 54 graded copies that have been sold, giving us a total of 580 copies of this book that have changed hands on the secondary market. The highest known sale for CGC 9.8 was back on January 25th of 2022, where that book sold for $330.37. The fair market value has this book resting at $284 for the most common grade of the 9.8. So if you're interested in this book, it's not a bad time, but my philosophy is I like to strike while the iron is cold. So I like to wait for books to cool off a little bit. But while I wait, I still do a lot of digging, looking for books that I anticipate I may want to add to my collection. And this is the reason I have these books and these lists I put together to be able to share with the comic book community. So basically all I do is I'm sharing with you guys the books that I anticipate that I may want to add to my collection at some point or other while I'm watching prices go up and down and fluctuate on the secondary market, looking for the best buy possible. If I have to buy a book a little on the steep end, it would definitely have to be a book that I just feel like I can't live without. But for the most part, I always try to take my time, strike while the iron is cold, wait for things to cool off, where there's not a lot of chatter going on about them, because I feel that those moments is when you can purchase a book for the best price. You buy low. And for those of you guys who like flipping books, you buy low, you sell high. It doesn't make sense if you're flipping books for you to buy it when the book hits its peak. There's no room for no room for growth. There's no room for profit, right? So you want to take your time, be patient, strike while the iron is cold, but it doesn't hurt to be eyeing the book, just keeping an eye on what's going on with it, right? So you can pick that perfect opportunity to strike. That's just me. I don't know. Kind of sounds like I know what I'm talking about, but I don't know. I just love collecting, so that's just in my personal opinion. All right. So that was Avengers issue number 227. If that's a book that you're looking to add to your collection, keep your eye on it. Coming in at number 6. This book was published by DC, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, yes, DC. I don't discriminate. If I see something I like, I'm gonna grab it. And I tend to have books from all different aspects of the comic book world. So I've got independents, I've got the big threes. I just look for books that I feel like that will enhance my collection. And it doesn't matter who the publisher is. If it's a book that I'm interested in, it will be on this list. All right. So it won't, and it won't always be just the big three. It won't, if I find something from the old Vertigo, if I find something from Boom or whatever, it'll be here. All right. So coming from DC, this book was published on March 22nd of 1988. And the title of this book is Batgirl Special, issue number 1, the direct edition. Now, the key factor to this book is that it is the last Batgirl story that had Barbara Gordon in it. So it was Barbara Gordon's last Batgirl story, right? Which is definitely a key moment in the comic book world. All right, so let's look at the numbers on this book. The last recorded sale for this book was on April 29th of 2022 for a raw copy that sold for $9.99. This book is currently trending upward at 49.10%. The average sale for CGC 9.6 of this book sold for $23.50. And boy, I wish that would have been me. $23 for a graded book of a key moment, of a significant moment in comic book history. The last Barbara Gordon Batgirl story, $23. Man, I wish that would have been me. But it wasn't. Somebody got lucky and it wasn't me. All right. The average sale for a raw copy is $7.79. There has been 356 raw copies of this book that have sold so far, and there has been 16 graded copies that have sold, giving us a total of 372 copies of this book that have changed hands so far. The highest known sale for CGC 9.8 of this book is back on January 10th of 2021, where that book sold for $99. And that book sold for $100. Carry the penny. Please. $100 for a 9.8. And that's a beautiful cover. So I could just imagine how that book looks CGC'd up and just displayed. Right? So it's definitely a book that I want to add to my collection. And the prices are not so steep that I would have to wait to grab this book. So just know that I'm definitely looking to add this one to my collection rather sooner than later. All right? And the fair market value has this book resting at $23.50 for the most common grade of the 9.6. And hopefully, if I could find the 9.8 and do a little negotiating, I could land this book and bring it on home. All right? All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have made it halfway to the halfway mark. We are at number 5. But before we go any further, please allow me to take this opportunity to stop and thank each and every one of you for stopping by, checking out the channel. And if this is your first time seeing this channel, please consider subscribing to the channel. It really helps us out a lot. And if you stick around to the end, I'll grab a box and do an unboxing for us. I got some things in the mail. I'll show you a piece of what I got. All right? And look, it's good vibes only over here. So check your nonsense at the door. Sit back, relax, enjoy the fun. Because that's all it's about. It's about the hobby. It ain't about nothing else. We don't got no time for that. We love what we do. We just collecting books, right? Have a good time doing it. That's how I feel about it. Now, make sure you hit that like button and hit that subscribe button so every time I do a video, all the great people in the community will get this video. Yes. All right. That's it for my public service announcement. Now, let's get back to our regularly scheduled program. Don't mind me. Long day at work. Long day at work. Just happy to be dropping another vid. All right. Coming in at number 5. This book is published by Marvel. It was released on October 1st, 1967. The title of this book is Fantastic Four, issue number 67. Yes, and I'm happy to drop this one for myself and all my Fantastic Four fans. The key factor to this book is it is the cameo and the origin of him who later is known or becomes Adam Warlock. Yeah, and we've been waiting for him for a long time. We've been waiting for him for a long time. All right, let's look at numbers. Last recorded sale for this book was on May 2nd of 2022 for a raw copy, and that book sold for $205.38. This book is currently trending upward at 55.65%. The average sale for CGC 8.0 is $840. And the average sale for a raw copy of this book is $154 for a mid to high grade copy. There's been 788 raw copies that have sold, and there has been 487 graded copies that have sold, giving us a total of 1,275 copies of this book that have sold so far on the secondary market. A lot of movement with this book right now, so that's a good thing. So if this is a book that you've been looking to add to your collection, keep your eye on it. People are looking for this book. The community still believes in this book, so just watch it. Remember, strike while the iron is cold. I wouldn't necessarily buy it right now while everybody's grabbing it, but I'll definitely see where that price is fluctuating at before I strike. I have I think I might have a couple copies of this in my collection, but I am looking to get a cleaner copy because I don't think I have above a 8.5 in this book. I think mine's around about 8-ish, 8.5 maybe, but I'm looking to get a real super duper clean copy of this book. So I'm going to wait for it to drop a little bit. All right. The highest known sale for CGC 9.8 in this book was on August 6th of 2021, where that book sold for $25,000 for CGC 9.8. $25,000 for CGC 9.8. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Whew. That's a lot of scribble. The fair market value has this book resting at $840 for the 8.0, for the 8.0. And that's for the most common grade. The most common grade is the 8.0. You can cop that for about $840. Like I said, I'm looking to get up in that 9 range somewhere. I don't know. I may have to wait a little bit, but I'm going to do my best to try to grab this book. I would like to have a cleaner copy. So we'll see what happens. Excuse me. Got some good vibe juice tonight, man. That's the ooh-wee. Good, too. All right. Coming in at number 4. This book is published by Marvel. It was released on November 1st, 1992. The title of this book is Ghost Rider, issue number 31. I know, right? I can't believe it. Yo, you know how many copies of this book I got in my... I know you guys probably got 30, 40 copies of this book in your collection. It's about time that this book is starting to see some love, man. This book is finally getting some love, right? Because how many times have you just grabbed it from the dollar bin, just grabbed it, hoping, praying, knowing that one day this book is going to do something, right? So it's here. It's finally getting the love that it deserves, and I can't wait till they drop the trailer. So this thing is going to go to the moon, Alice. Straight to the moon, right? Let's talk numbers. Ghost Rider, issue number 31. The key factor to this book is it is the first appearance of the Midnight Suns and the Caretaker. The last recorded sale for this book was on May 5th of 2022 for a raw copy, and that book sold for $19.99. People, $20. May I borrow a penny, please? $20. $20. This book is currently trending upward at 61.7%. The average sale for CGC 9.8 is $303. The average sale for a raw copy is $16.15. There's been 862 raw copies that have sold, and there has been 50 graded copies that have sold, giving us a total of 912 copies of this book that have changed hands on the secondary market. The highest known sale for CGC 9.8 was back on September 4th of 2021, where that book sold for $424.99. The fair market value has this book at $303 for the most common grade of the 9.8. So if you're interested in Ghost Rider issue number 31, I think now still is a good opportunity to get your hands on this book before prices continue to increase, because prices are going to continue to increase. So please pay attention If this is a book that you want, pay attention. For a while, they've been in the dollar bins, but they're no longer dollar books, so it can happen. Oh, it can definitely happen. All right, we've made it to our top 3 most trending comic books of the week. Coming in at number 3, we have a book that was published by Marvel. It was released on December 1st, 1965. The title of this book is The Fantastic Four, issue number 45, the regular edition. Now, the key factor to this book is it is the first appearance of the Inhumans. And look at these numbers. Last recorded sale for a raw copy of this book was on May 3rd of 2022. Well, that book sold for $535 for a nice high grade, right? It wasn't graded, it was raw, but it was a nice high grade raw copy, and it sold for $535. This book is currently trending upward at 76.84%, and the average sale for CGC 7.5 is $840. Average sale for a raw copy is $395. There has been 619 copies that have sold so far, and there has been 437 graded copies that have sold, giving us a total of 1,056 copies of this particular book that is moving on the secondary market. So again, people are seeking this book, people believe in this book, and they're still willing to spend money for this book. If you are looking to add this book to your collection, me personally, I think I would wait a little bit, because this book, and I think it has a lot to do with, again, movies, without being a spoiler, it has a lot to do with movies, and people are starting to chase this book down a little bit. So just be patient. They always come back around. They always do. They always do. You're not missing out. FOMO is real, but you're not missing out. All right? So listen, let's continue. Now, the highest known sale for CGC 9.8 in this book was back on February 18th of 2016, where that book sold for $35,850. Yeah. 35,850 bucks for the 9.8. Fair market value has this book resting at $840 for the most common grade of the 7.5. All right, so keep your eye out on this book if you're looking to add this to your collection. Coming in at number 2, ladies and gentlemen, this book was published by Boom Studios. This book was released on September 4th of 2019. The title of this book is Something is Killing the Children, issue number 1. Yeah, James Tynion the fourth, I believe that's what we're calling him. Tynion. I apologize if I screw your name up, sir, but hit me in the comment section. Let me know exactly what it is. The pronunciation to it. I mean no disrespect, but I love your writing, though. I love your books, man. Yeah, the key factor to this book is it is the first appearance of Erica Slaughter. And this is a dope read. So if you guys have not read this book, there are still plenty of copies out there that you can get your hands on. There's second prints, third prints. There's still some copies out there. This is like one of the best reads of 2021. This was just a great read. It is the first appearance of Erica Slaughter. The last recorded sale for a CGC 9.8 was back on April 30th of 2022, where that book sold for $899.99. This book is currently trending upward at 190.89%. So this book has been up, down, up, down. This book has gone on an absolute roller coaster ride, but the community still believes in this book. This was an excellent read, and there have been a lot of issues that have super low print runs, so it's a very heavily sought after comic book. All right, so if this is something you've been looking to add to your collection, just keep your eye on this book. All right. Now, the average sale for a graded CGC 9.8 is about $667. Average sale for a raw copy is roughly about 120, 125 bucks. There's been 706 raw copies that have sold, and there's been 413 graded copies that have sold, giving us a total of 1,119 copies of this book that has changed hands on the secondary market. And the highest known sale for CGC 9.8 was back on May 20th of 2021, when that book sold for $1,759.95. Yeah, so that speaks to that roller coaster that I was talking about. When this book first came out, this book was fire. And it was, everybody and their mama wanted this book. And it has gone up, and it has gone down, and it has gone up. So it's kind of leveling out right now, and it's hitting that stabilization point to where, if for myself, I have a few copies, but if I'm looking to get another copy, I needed to take just a nice little dip for me one more time. So it's roughly at about 667 bucks right now. But if it can just dip one more time for me, if it can just one more time for me, I'm gonna grab that. I'm gonna have to add that to my collection, right? So yeah, this has been a beautiful book. Fair market value has it resting at 667 bucks for the most common grade of the 9.8. But like I said, if it can just lean back for me one more time, I'm all over that, right? So this is a very, very heavily sought after book. So be wise when you get ready to hit that that pay now button. Just be wise. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we made it. You guys continue to tolerate me and my nonsense. I don't know how you do it. But I appreciate it. I appreciate each and every one of you guys for stopping by, checking out the channel. Thank you for your love and your support. Thank you for all the encouragement. Man, just thank you for inviting me into your home. Spend a little time with your boy, man. It's all good in the hood. All right? I appreciate that. So, coming in at number 1, the most trending comic book of the week is a book that is published by Marvel. And the title of this book is X-Men, issue number 4. Yes, the first appearance of Omega Red. This is another book that is finally getting some just due, right? This book was released on January 1st, 1992. Last recorded sale for a raw copy was on May 5th of 2022. That book sold for $39.99. Wow, again, another book that I was grabbing out of the dollar bins for so long. I got a lot of copies of these too, so I don't think I need another one. I'm just putting it up here because this thing is doing numbers on the market, right? And the books that I grabbed, I paid like maybe $1 or $2 for. So I'm not willing to spend $40 for this book right now. But some of you may not have this book, and you might want to add it to your collection before it gets too late, right? Because I anticipate that this book is going to continue to climb in value, all right? So watch these numbers. This book is currently trending upward, ladies and gentlemen, at 301.88%. Yeah. The average sale for a CGC 9.8 is $185. The average sale for a raw copy of this book is about $105. There's been 2,705 raw copies that have sold, and there's been 1,164 graded copies that have sold, giving us a grand total of 3,869 copies of this magnificent book that has sold so far on the secondary market. The comic book community definitely believes in this book, all right? The highest known sale for CGC 9.8 was back on April 2nd of 2021, where that book sold for $499.99. May I borrow a penny, please? $500. And the fair market value has this book resting at $185 for the most common grade of the 9.8. So when you think about when it sold back in 2021, $500 for a 9.8, and roughly right now we can get a CGC 9.8 for about $185. I see a lot of room for growth there. So that buy-in price point is a beautiful thing to me. All right. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I have given you your list. Please be wise. Whatever you do, do not jump out of the airplane without the parachute. Take your time. Pace yourself. Don't make any hasty decisions. Let's have fun while we're trying to enhance our collection. All right? So I appreciate you guys. Thank you for stopping by, checking out the channel. And oh, as I promised, before I go, let's do an unboxing. I got something in the mail. Right? Got something in the mail. And let's see what it is. Let me grab my scissors real quick. Give me a second. Oh, here they go. All right. So I'm going to have to rip through this. As we used to say in the old videos, cue music, but keep your clothes on. I used to love that, man. Yeah. Let's pop this puppy open, see what we got. And so for those of you, if you have not gone out and seen Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, man, go check it out. It's definitely fire. It's definitely fire. Okay. We got some bubbles. We got some bubbles. All right. We got some bubbles, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see. Ready? Yeah, Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. I really enjoyed it. I really like the direction that the MCU is going in. And I can't wait to see Thor Love and Thunder, man, because I know it's going to be everything I thought it should be. Work smarter, not harder, C3. Come on. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Okay. So, I'm going to do a quick plug real quick. It's all good. This is something that I purchased from the Comic Mint. It is a Comic Mint exclusive. All right. So, what I grabbed was Batman issue number 118, Comic Mint exclusive, CGC 9.8. First appearance of the Abyss. First cover appearance of the Abyss in the CGC 9.8. And she's a beauty. I'm going to go a step further. I'm going to take her out of the plastic because I just don't like that dull look that I see. Let's see the goodness. There she is. There she is. Look at that. She's a beauty, huh? Nice. That's CGC 9.8. First cover appearance, first appearance of the Abyss. I love the artwork on this, man. It's scan artwork. Phenomenal. Fire artwork. Look at the detail in there. That armor is fire too. Suit is lit. Look at that. Looks real Reaperish, right? Yeah. So I figured this was a book that I want to add to my collection. So I just went ahead and grabbed. I grabbed a couple of raw copies, but I wanted to grab a graded copy for myself as well. Every now and again, I like to treat myself. Yeah, beautiful. Just a beautiful copy. Exquisite artwork. I don't know. The hologram, that thing is very hypnotized. It's very hypnotic. I need another one. You need another CGC. You need another CGC. Okay, snap out of it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. That's what I got in the mail. I gave you guys the list. Be careful out there while you're out in the hunt, man. Don't hurt nobody. Don't let nobody hurt you. You know what I always say. Don't hate, congratulate. Show some love, because that don't cost you nothing. Appreciate. But no matter what you do, ladies and gentlemen, when you see me, always keep it comics. Peace. Later, Gators. And we out.